Hey guys, Bscat here. So I'm going to be reviewing my trip to New York City. I just went this past weekend. I don't know when this video is dropping. It might be from 2 weeks ago, but I just went to New York City. I went with a tour group called Comfort Tours. Amazing tour company out of Toronto, Canada. They do a lot of different tours. I'm hopefully going to be doing another one next year, either to Chicago or Washington. So basically, what happens is you go on like a charter bus. You go down for 3 days. You basically get a tour from like a tour guide. The tour guide's amazing. You also get to stay in a 5-star hotel, which we did, and also you get a free continental breakfast. And then in the afternoons, after your tour, you basically get free time in New York City. So it was it was an amazing time. The tour guides, the bus drivers were amazing. The other people on the tour were really good as well. But let's get right into it. So we left for New York on the Friday. It's about a 9 hour. I'm sorry, it took us about 10 hours because like we had to stop and then there's rest stops and stuff. Unfortunately, when you're a big guy like me and you're on a comfort tour bus and you're sitting beside someone, it's not very comfortable because they're very, very tight seats. So my ass was pretty much sore going there and going back. But I will say the views when we were going down a highway, I don't know the name of the highway, I'm sorry. It's as soon as you leave Syracuse, we went straight down and it takes you into Pennsylvania and through Scranton, which is where Joe Biden's from, so that's how I knew that. And then we headed into New Jersey, which is where we stayed at our hotel. But as we went down that highway, the views were stunning. If you guys have me on Facebook or Instagram, you guys already know I posted a ton of photos from my trip. If you haven't, go on there and view them. My Facebook name is Bscat. My Instagram is Bscat1203. Go on there, you'll see a ton of great photos. So as we were going down the highway, we on the one side, it was all beautiful green grass and there were tall mountains. I think they're called the Adirondack Mountains. I think that's what my uncle had told me. But it was just a beautiful view there and back. It was just so beautiful to like see. I've never seen mountains before, like 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 in person. I've only seen them on the TV, and it was just an amazing view. So we did that, and so yeah. So let's talk about the hotel. So we stayed in a town called New Brunswick, New Jersey. I know, right? Like we have like a city here called that in Canada. It was a university town, big university football. You could tell. So we stayed at the Hyatt New Brunswick, beautiful hotel, 5-star. The rooms were amazing, great stay. New Brunswick itself, the nightlife was really good. It was a lot of young people. So we went on our first night to a restaurant called Old Man Rafferty's, which is like a pub, great food. And then the second night we went to Burger King because we needed to save some money. But yeah, so we did that. So let's get into the New York part of the trip. So Saturday morning, which is when we went, we took the bus into New York. As you go along the New Jersey Turnpike, which is like their highway that like leads into New York, beautiful skyline views. Unfortunately, I was not able to get any photos of the skyline on that part, but just a beautiful view. And then we went through the Lincoln Tunnel, which is one of the underground tunnels that leads into New York City. There's also the Battery Tunnel, and I think there's one more. Beautiful. I don't want to say it's beautiful, but actually it was interesting because I've never really been in an underground tunnel like that before. But it was really, really cool. So then after that, we met up with our tour guide. We had like a tour from 9 to 3. This guy knew everything. Like he told us where all the celebrities lived, and we basically stopped and we saw places like Times Square, which I have a funny story about. Central Park, which was amazing. I wish that I could have spent some more time there. What else did we see? We had lunch at Grand Central Station, which basically basically was just like a Union Station, but it was still pretty cool. We saw the Chrysler Building. We went through Chinatown, Soho. Uh, we went to Wall Street, saw the Bull. We went to the 9/11 um, memorial, which was amazing as well. I went to the museum. I'll be getting to that in a minute. We just saw a ton of stuff in New York City. It was a really, really great tour. Um, so now for our free time, I hope I'm not missing anything out. I hope I'm not. So where I personally went and I visited, I went to the Empire State Building, which was one of my childhood dreams, and I did it. There was nobody in line, so we went right up to the 88th floor. I got a shit ton of photos. I also got some souvenirs. Really, really good. I always wanted to go up the Empire State Building, and I've done it. I'm so happy. We also went to Trump Tower. Yes, I know. He, of course, wasn't there. I've just always wanted to go inside. I've seen the tower on TV, and I've always wanted to go. And so like we went inside. There was a bit of security, like there was Secret Service, the NYPD were there, but there wasn't really much else. You couldn't go upstairs. There was a steakhouse and stuff like that. So then we just left. We also then went to St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is a huge cathedral in New York City. It's right down the street from Trump Tower. Great views. We then went to the Rockefeller Center. Now there, you actually could have gone up to the highest point in the tower, but like I've already done that. Like I went up the Empire State Building, so I'm like, nah. In the Rockefeller Center, it's actually the home of NBC Studios, and I was really upset because they actually offer tours of NBC Studios, so then like you can see the sets of like the Jimmy Kimmel Show, Fallon, Saturday Night Live. Unfortunately, it was closed there because of COVID, so we couldn't do that. I was a little bit sussed about that, but hey, whenever I go back to New York City, I'm definitely doing that. Then, what else did we do? I went to the NBA Flagship Store. Amazing. And as well, I went to the Major League Baseball Flagship Store. Amazing. I wish they would bring that here to Toronto. What else did I do? I saw Radio City Music Hall. Unfortunately, we didn't go inside. Times Square. That is a crazy place. So we walked through Times Square. There's all these different characters dressed up. So like there's people who are dressed up like Elmo, Bumblebee from Transformers, Cookie Monster. Oh fuck, there's all these people dressed up, and it's fucking crazy. There's too many people. Well, they want you to take photos with them. So they'll run up to you and they'll want you to take a photo. So you take a photo, okay, fine, no problem. Then they ask you for money. And if you don't give them money, they actually chase you around. So I also saw the Naked Cowboy, which was, a sight to be seen. So there were these girls who walk around Times Square. They wear a thong and their boobs are hanging out. Well, every guy they saw, hey, baby, come take a photo. And then they tried to do it with me. I wanted to take a photo, but I'm like, you know what? You're fucking charging $50. I'm not doing it. So then I just walked away and I'm like, fuck you. I went to the Hershey store there too. Really, really good Hershey store compared to Niagara Falls. That's all I'm going to say. As well, I went to Times Square McDonald's. That place is fucking huge. I did want to see a Broadway show. I wanted to see Aladdin, but it was kind of like sold out. Like the lineup was really long. So if you go to Times Square after 3:00 every day, they have a discounted ticket booth area where you can get tickets for basically Broadway shows that like don't sell out that day. Like I said, I wanted to see Aladdin, but like the lineup was way too long, and I'm like, $90, fuck that. There were a few other performances as well. There was a Chicago, which our tour guide saw, but I'm not really into that. I wanted to see Rock of Ages, but it was closed because of COVID, and that's in like the Hell's Kitchen area. So then we just left there. So then we went to the 9/11 museum. which is, of course, about 9/11. Very moving museum. But it's also very dark as well. So, like, you go in, they have actual artifacts from the Ground Zero site, like fire trucks, walkie-talkies, stuff that people lost. And as you go into these rooms, you hear all this talking from the actual people there, and it's so moving and it's dark, and I hate to say it, it's almost graphic, but in a good way. But yeah, like, it was good, and also in one part it actually tells you how Al Qaeda was formed. And actually, funny enough, the day after we visited the 9/11 museum, the leader of Al Qaeda was killed. So it's kind of like, wow, that was a little bit of a scary moment there. But yeah, so we did that. We also went to the USS Intrepid Museum, which is right on the harbor front there. So basically, you get to explore in a decommissioned aircraft carrier, and there's a lot of different fighter jets on it. And there's also a part which is called the Space Museum, and you can actually see like a space rocket that, like, the U.S. Sent up years ago, called the USS Enterprise. No, not the one from Star Trek. This is a real thing that they sent up years ago. As well, you can tour the Intrepid. It was really, really cool. I've toured a few aircraft carriers over the years. This one would probably have to be the best one. As well, there is a submarine there. I can't think of the name of it. It's the only nuclear submarine. The Growler. That was it. The only nuclear submarine left in America that, like, you can tour. It is decommissioned. Really, really cool. I have toured a submarine once before in Buffalo, as well as a aircraft carrier there, or at least I think it was a warship. So the Growler, if you're a big guy like me, submarines are not meant for you. And I'm also claustrophobic, so that didn't help. Extremely tight spaces. I had to, like, duck my head the whole time. Not meant for tall people. So we did that. What else did we do? I said we went to Rockefeller Center. We took a cruise. I think it was called First Line Cruises, and we got beautiful views of the Statue of Liberty. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go over and actually see it, but I got amazing shots. Again, if you want to see them, go on to my social medias, my Facebook, Instagram. They're all on there. I got amazing shots. As well, I got great shots of the skyline. Beautiful. I love the cruise. A lot of information. I basically got to do everything that I wanted to do. I know that there's still a lot more that, like, you can do there. Like, there's the museums and stuff like that. As well, I walked over the Brooklyn Bridge. That was an amazing walk. And there, they had, it was almost like a little flea market. Like, they had, like, different shops all, like, set up along there. Like, you could get water, beer, all for $1 on knockoff merchandise, which was like $5. And yeah, it was just a really, really cool thing. It's about a 20-minute walk, so it's not too bad. And then if you don't want to walk back, you can just take the subway if you know how to navigate the subway. I, fortunately enough, was able to. So then we went to Brooklyn. We walked around there for a bit. We got a pizza slice, which there is like this big. It's huge. It's very big. Compared to the slices here, amazing. And then that was pretty much it for our trip to New York there. Now let's talk about the subway. So unlike here, where there's line 1, line 2, line 3, there's like I'd say at least 6 different lines. There's the purple line, there's a green line, there's express trains, and it's very hard to navigate if you don't understand it. We were able to navigate it very well because we just kind of figured it out, and I'm very, very good at navigating, so I just found my way around the city, no problem. As well, New York is pretty much a grid, so basically all their streets are just straight to the other side because it's an island, right? So like First Avenue, you can actually see the other side of the island from the one side because it's just a straight and like narrow street. All the streets there are because it's an island. And as well in New York, one thing that I loved, their entertainment industry is second to none. Everywhere you go, there are people performing and people actually respect them. You know what I mean? Like they sit there and they give them money. Unlike here where like everybody like just like walks by and is like, ugh, I don't want to talk to that person. And there, they actually have signs up that say, hey, my name is so-and-so. Here are my social medias. It's just a great, great city. Like, if you want to be, like, an entertainer, I personally actually want to move there one day. Yes, I know it's expensive, but it just looks like a beautiful, healthy city, you know? And, yeah, I actually bought, like, a CD off this rapper guy in Times Square. Amazing CD. I actually added him on Instagram. You know, it's just a very easy city to do what you want to do. You can go down to Times Square, you can put your hat out, you can perform, and people will give you money. It's not like here where like everyone just walks by and like, oh, I don't want to talk to him. But yeah, so my trip to New York, definitely a 10 out of 10. I definitely want to go back. I definitely want to spend a little more time in Central Park. I only got to spend maybe like 5-10 minutes. I did get to see the John Lennon Memorial, which was great. Sorry. And as well, I also went to Macy's, you know, the big flagship store. I didn't buy anything. It's just like the Hudson's Bay here. It's pretty much a corporate thing. But anyways, I do want to go back to New York one day. Spend a little more time in Central Park. See the whole thing. Hopefully next year, I do want to go to Chicago or Washington or even Boston, you know. Also maybe Nashville. All right, guys. I have to let you go.